Hey guys, it's AlluringSimmer here, back with a new video. In this video, I'm going to be doing another speed build. For this speed build, we're doing a wedding chapel. So basically, it's a wedding chapel. I don't really have anything more to say about that. I'm just getting into doing a lot more speed builds, mostly to practice because I eventually want to do like a huge home or something like that. Or you guys can always leave requests of things you want to see, but I just was in the mood of creating a chapel and I felt it fit into the neighborhood that I put it in, which is Newcrest. And I put it next to the bakery that you probably recently saw a speed build of if you watched it, and if you haven't, I'll probably insert a card into the video so you can just watch it right now and come back to this, or you can watch it later, and I'll have a link to it in the description down below as well if you want to see that one. The reason why I'm posting, well, I mean, I filmed them both at the same time, but I decided to post that one first, and in this speed build you'll see like parts of it too, so it kind of makes sense that way. I'm not really spoiling anything because the video is already up. um when I made it, I think I made it as a lounge simply because there's like a limited amount of types of like lot types that you can use to throw a wedding, which doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like you should be able to throw a wedding on any lot. um I was hoping that they would make it possible to like throw a wedding on a generic lot so you don't have any requirements, but I don't think that's possible, which is really weird to me. um because half the time I don't even use half the stuff in the wedding. So what I did, I feel like I've seen someone else do this before, but I can't think of who it was. But I made a basement in this build that's not accessible to The Sims, and I put the items under there that I didn't really feel fit into the build or I didn't really need in the build. I just put those in the basement so your Sims can't access it, but it's still there to fit the requirements, which I suggest to anyone. Like, if you don't really care, since you won't be able to see the basement while you're playing the game, if you don't really care about having things down there, I would just suggest to create a basement, and stick the stuff down there that you need to fulfill the requirement but you don't really want in your build, if that makes sense. If you do have a basement in your build that's like part of your build and you don't want to just fling it in the basement, I would like just make like a small little room, or just stick it in places where you don't really see it but it's still there so that the lot works as it should. So yeah, I added a lot of flowers and stuff to this build. So you can see those flowers like on the ground are actually technically flowers to be placed on the window. But I've been doing this thing where I place them on the ground because they kind of look like they're just, potted plants on the ground, and I thought it looked really nice. And then here, I made use of the romantic garden stuff pack by using that little, I think it's yeah, romantic garden stuff, by using that little fountain thing and the benches. I think I end up replacing the benches with ones that are pretty similar, but they didn't have the green on them. I can't remember exactly why. Oh, I think why I changed it was because those weren't considered love seats, but they were just considered benches, but the other ones were, so they just fit the requirement better, so I changed them out. And here you can see I added in trees to make it like fit more into the environment. That is my favorite tree to use. I don't remember, I think it's like the American birch tree or something. I may be completely wrong, but it's my favorite tree to use in builds because it's like very simple, and it just makes your build look a little bit more, I don't know, cozy kind of thing. Um, I added in this light at the front just to brighten up the place during the night. And here is where I changed it from a residential lot to a museum first, but then I wasn't sure if you could throw weddings at a museum or not, and I didn't really feel like checking, so I just turned it into a lounge, as you can see. So now here you can see I'm trying to like fulfill the requirements, but like also finding a way to work it into the build. So I made this front entry room kind of thing. I don't know if you would normally see that in chapel. You probably wouldn't, because generally you'll just enter the chapel. I mean, maybe there would be like a small little lobby area so like you can sit outside. But usually when you see pictures, it's like you just go straight into like the wedding venue as soon as you enter. Um, at least from what I've seen. So here's where I changed the two benches. They look pretty much exactly the same except they don't have those vines on them, and it fit the requirements, which just worked for me. The reason why I placed that globe, it's technically a bar, but it just like when you see it, it just looks like a globe, so it works really well to fit that requirement if you want to use it as a decor piece. And I ended up using move objects on to like lift it up onto a table. So again, it just looks more like a decoration piece rather than a bar. And then over here, I put this little table. See, these are ways to like fulfill the requirements, but like doing it in a sneaky way. Some from what I've seen, like usually there's like a table for the bride and groom to sit so they can sign like their marriage license and stuff. Sometimes people get it beforehand, sometimes people do it at the wedding ceremony. But yeah, so I placed that table there to kind of represent that table you can sit at and sign your wedding papers. And then usually people will take pictures of the bride and groom doing that because it's like very, what's the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I'm sure you guys get what I mean. Over here, I use that extra space to just create a little bathroom in there. Again, fitting the requirements, but also I tend to try and put a bathroom on like every single lot because it's kind of annoying if you have to send your sim all the way home or like modify a lot in the middle of a game in order to create like somewhere for your sims to use the washroom. The microphone worked really well there because sometimes people will have microphones at the front so their guests can hear them better when they're like doing their vows. And I added that little curtain in. I think that's from Luxury Party Stuff Back, and I just thought it looked really nice, especially since the walls are kind of plain. And the only thing is I wish it was a bit longer because I think that would have looked nicer, but I ended up adding in these plants that fit right underneath, and I changed up the coloring so that it matched the rest of the room a bit more. Also, I used that like chandelier and the other like hanging light. I've never used those lights before, I don't think, in a build, and if I have, I just don't use it that often. And I just felt like it looked good in this build and it like set the tone of the room. And then here I was gonna add that mirror in, but it didn't end up fitting where I wanted it to. The main part of this build is pretty much done. Right now I'm just adding in like extra pieces because I'm pretty sure all the requirements were filled at this point, and I was just trying to make the chapel more decorative. I was trying to decorate the chapel a bit more so it looks better. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave comments down below about suggestions for future speed builds that you want to see. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of building Newcrest, but I'm not really making it a series. I'm just doing speed builds that are all in Newcrest, which you'll see once everything is done. But yeah, be sure to leave comments down below what you guys want to see. Leave comments about what you think of this build. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you want to see more videos like this, or other videos you can suggest in the comments, or on my Twitter at AlluringSimmer. I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to stay tuned at the end for screenshots, and it will be up on the gallery. My origin ID is at AlluringSimmer. See you guys in the next video. Bye!
And day by day is a struggle in this world. You know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen, people will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find